So, how do you build your office, your work office, since you're working from home or whatever it is that you're working? How do you build it? How do you make sure it actually is good? Well, I'm going to talk to you guys about the three essential ones that I've found that are like, minimums for when you're building your own office. So, your office doesn't have to be your house, doesn't have to be your room. It can be, a co-working space. It can be a cafe. Different people do different things to kind of a little bit wake up. It's one of the things that can happen when you are actually working from home is you might feel sleepy, you might feel a bit lazy. So some people, do different things. But the main one that you need, the main first one that you need when you're building up your home office is internet. You could have the fanciest place in the world with fanciest chairs and amazing view and everything else, but if you don't have internet, you can't actually work. You can't actually work online. So you need a good, stable internet. It doesn't have to be really fast internet, just stable internet is enough. I remember the first few years that I was working, I only had PLDT, which a lot of people know it's not the fastest, but sometimes, usually, it was stable. It was good enough for me to work. It's good enough for me to do calls with authors. It was good enough for me to talk to different people, like even with video. Sometimes you wouldn't carry it, but it was good enough. So you need an internet to start with. That's maybe 5 Mbps if you can have it, just to start. If you're someone who has to do a lot of voice calls, a lot of video calls, it's not going to be enough, but you need one that's just good enough internet, stable internet. You don't need for it to be super fast, you just need it to be stable, like, you can send an email and it'll actually be sent. You don't have to keep clicking retry. So you need, first one is just need really good internet. Number two, in your work office or wherever you're placing your home work office, number two that you need is quiet. You actually do need the quiet. You actually do need a little bit of calm if you can. Different coffee shops will be louder or quieter than most. So when you're looking for your own space, when you're looking for your place to work, you kind of want it to be a little bit quiet. The reason is so your brain doesn't get caught up with the music. Sometimes it does that. Different restaurants. This is a really quick psychology lesson. Some restaurants play their music really loud and really fast, so you can get the heck out of there. But some, like cafes, that's why they usually play softer and slower music, so you order more, you stay more, you invite your friends over, and those are kind of usually the cafes that are the best to work at, because then they're like, you can stay there for longer, you're not guilty of leaving. Plus, again, it's quiet. When you're working online, you never know what it is that you might encounter. So, for example, you might be tasked to listen to a certain video, or you might be tasked to give instructions over video or over audio. So you want a place where you can actually quiet and you can actually work. And when you're concentrating, it is best to have a quiet place, or even just instrumental playing in the background, music and instrumental music playing in the background. That is enough. So the second thing that you need when you're finding your workspace is it has to be quiet enough for you to work. It has to be quiet enough for you to do all of your tasks. If there's any audio or anything that you can work, and if you're listening to any video like these ones, you can listen to it without having to turn up the volume really loud. And the third one that you want to look for when you're looking for your work office is a little bit of a mix of comfort and view. So when you're working, especially if you're working for long hours, you need a chair that's that you sit straight. I don't usually recommend couches or those the seats where it's soft, because that kind of arches your back a little bit when you're working. It's better when it's like a straight chair, because then your posture is still maintained. Especially if like some people do to kind of fight it is, every 20 or 30 minutes they set an alarm and then they stand up. But then usually when you're in flow, when you're in that mode of just working, you're not probably going to stand up as much. So find a place to kind of work comfortably where you're sitting, and then there's a desk, and that's how you're working, and there's a distance between you and your laptop. And then kind of the other mix, the kind of comfort and view, is you want a place where you can look outside every few minutes. There is a strain in your eye, and I know this because I have a migraine. I have migraines. Is you want a place where it's both comfortable and has a view. You can look outside. It doesn't have to be super, like, can look far away, but it has to be enough that your eyes kind of shift from looking at your computer for too long to like switching to like, oh, that's far away. It'd be good if it's like outside a garden. Like, different people say different things about the best color that relaxes your eyes. It's blue, it's green, it changes, but like it's good if you're looking at something just outside. Outside. If you're living on the first floor or the ground floor and you can just see the road, that's also fine. The point is to give your eyes a break when you're working, especially if you're working for long hours. So those are kind of the three things that you kind of need right off the bat when you're creating your work office. Again, first one is internet. Can't work if you don't have internet. Two is it needs to be quiet enough that you can work, that you can create audios, you can listen to videos really well. And then third one is comfort and view. It has to be comfortable. The seats have to be comfortable enough that you can work well, that your body doesn't get sacrificed with you working. And then it has to have a view. It has to have, if you can, find a place where you can just look out the window and rest your eyes every so often to kind of give your brain a break, especially when you're working really, really hard. So that was kind of it for this video. Again, this is Lacaba, your virtual ate. I am here to help you out, take you by the hand through this virtual world, which you're trying to figure out how to work from home. And if you have any questions, any comments, anything you guys want me to talk about in the next videos, let me know. These are daily videos that I'm releasing on my social media. So if you guys have any questions at all, please let me know, and I'm happy and willing to help you. So yeah, that's it for this video.